Good job, guys.
I just tried to throw in the roof. Thank you for following
yeah,
too.
No problem. I like the ideas. I was like, that's a good idea. Because, dude, I don't know if you heard that one lyric. So, I've been watching a lot of shit. So, what I found out is that in the 90s, you know, when like gangster rap was happening, and a lot of like that drug infused music, that the record labels were investing in prisons to make public prisons, like to make private prisons. Because the prisons were overfilled, so they made private prisons for money. So then they made the agenda to have people talk about criminal acts. So that people can follow that, so they can actually fill the prisons.
NWA and all that shit.
And if you were like in that record exec, if you were talking away from it, you'd be black labeled and threatened your life and probably put in a fucking box 6 feet in the ground. So the whole thing is like, the more you get into the music industry, and the fact that like we've been offered to be signed, and it's like a crapshoot almost. It's like, here's a $35,000 piece of plastic that I was gonna buy, and if you don't get that money back for 5 years, we don't know your shit. And you're like, okay, no. You're like, what do you mean? It's like, no. You're gonna pay for my van? No. You gonna pay for my gas? No. You gonna rent a hotel for me? No. Are you gonna put me a good artist? No. What the fuck are you doing for me? Recording a fucking album that's a piece of shit that anyone can do in their basement now? This is not what it used to be. You can do it all there. You can load on Spotify. Like, you don't make shit off your fucking money, the records anymore. Like, unless you make vinyl. Like, even then, it's niche. So you make money on touring and playing and being a band.
Yeah, bro.
Right? Like, and then going from there. So for like this whole record label thing and this fame thing they sell you, it's a bunch of bullshit. So it's like, do music because you love it. Do it because you have a voice and you can impact other people's lives and make them think, or, you know, open their eyes a little bit. And otherwise, what's the fucking point?
That's true.
Because it's such a crapshoot. Like I like this year, the last couple of years, I've had some really good opportunities to play with some really good musicians, and a lot of them aren't punk. A lot of them like Tom Wilson from Junk House, opening up for him. It was like, fuck, it was awesome. And he's like, okay, I have to go to work tomorrow. You're like, work? You're a fucking Juno Award-winning artist. It's like, no, you gotta go to work. Same as 54. Yeah, I have to go to work tomorrow. It's like, What? David Ginn's like, I have to go paint a house somewhere. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you know, when you realize your heroes have day jobs, especially in the punk world, and you're like, what the fuck? Meeting bands from Chicago, so it's like, yeah, we have a day job. You know, like, yeah, we haven't toured as much. We have kids, and we have work, and we have day jobs, and it's like, wow, it's like,
yeah. How do you explode nowadays, right?
Right? So it's at the end of the day, it's like, wow, you guys are just doing it for fun. He's like, yeah, do it for the love of music. So like this whole idea of like we're gonna get somewhere and get big and sign it, no, it's never gonna happen. Yeah. And if it does, it's probably won't want it anyway. When I talk to, they're like, yeah, they want you to be this famous entity. They want to pimp you out, exploit you. It's like that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be like a Helmet. Do you guys know what a Helmet is?
No.
Band Helmet?
Like Buckethead?
No, the band Helmet.
No.
So
No
like,
Buckethead, yeah.
Go check out Helmet. Was it Unsong? Unsong is their big hit. But like they're like that. They're like the same time as Nirvana, and they got offered a lot of shit. But he's like, yeah, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be famous. I just want to play and be a recognized musician. He trained as a jazz musician forever. And he's just like, so they did really well, but they're just like, record label was like, oh, do all this stuff. He's like, no. And they signed an Interscope saying that we have creative control and we have creative design. And if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the smartest fucking thing ever. He's like, I just want to be a popular unknown, where you know my song, but you have no fucking idea who I am. And it's like that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because otherwise than just being that spotlight character, like your live performance is that. It should be that. Yeah. Same with going on stage, like I'm that spotlight character. I don't need to be look at me kind of person, right? Like I'm like, well, look, I did. I really couldn't care. Like,
well, Slipknot created the whole mask thing, right?
Right, and dude, Corey Taylor's awesome, and he does some videos, but he was never that character either. He was never like that Fred Durst or that guy, you know, who had to be like in front of the camera. Even Fred Durst, he's taking a piss on stuff because it was like, hey, make this last. At the time, you had to be those characters. They had much music. They had those things where you're on it. People want to watch it. That's not the way anymore. It's like people watch interviews of bands. They want to hear what they're doing and like insight. There's not like, yo, look at me, you know, Britney Spears.
Yeah.
You know, get a halter top, my tits out, and sell some records.
Yeah, but now you're talking about it. We don't have a lot of like punk bands famous right now, right?
Hmm?
Like
still,
exploding.
They're still bit. No, not like that was like in this, not like in the fucking 2000s.
That's what I'm saying. Because usually, like right now, we're going to the whole like '90s comebacks, right? Everything is like fucking.
Yeah, it's just regurgitated. Like a lot of people were like into a lot of new stuff. And that's the thing too. It's like how.
They don't have any punk.
Even like metal and stuff, like making these 11-minute songs. No one's got their.
But same thing. Who's new metal?
No one's got the attention span anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of it's like.
Well, like there is good ones. They're so hard to find, and they're probably not getting the same exposure as they would have back then.
No, it's pretty much just doing it. And a lot of bands they might follow. They've been around for 20 years, but like even then, there's newer guys all the time. Like even on the indie scene, like there's a bunch of bands that kind of started when we started. But like it's same like you're pretty much doing it for the love of it, right? Like. You know, like it wasn't a total waste of money. We made money on gigs and stuff too. But
you might have like one video that gets maybe 10,000 views, but like, that's about the extent.
In today's popular music, like kids, like I don't know how old are you guys?
Oh, 31.
Okay.
29.
29, yeah. So you're only 30s. You and I are 40s, right?
41.
Yeah. So it's like you look at like the younger generation, like what's popular. A lot of the fucking weird pop stuff. Mumble rap. So I don't know this guy that's called Dizzy's Dead. I checked him out. He's pretty good. But he's like
Dizzy Dad?
Yeah, have you heard of that guy?
No.
Yeah, it's Dizzy Dead. He's got a song. It's called I forget what it's called, the Red Balloons or something. And it was actually pretty cool. It's about like his drug abuse, but it's like he was just it's pretty much the same guitar line for the whole thing. It's like acoustic, fucking one, maybe two notes. And it's fucking just him rapping and then a chorus, and it's just first chorus. It's under 2 minutes. And it's a huge fucking hit, like on the because he had like the whole like thing like with TikTok and all that shit. Then he dropped it. And it's like he's already got like.
Oh, he got attention from TikTok.
Yeah, and that's where it came from. Then he had like something like 50,000
well, yeah,
overnight. Like he was just like 500,000.
That's one thing. We gotta start like fucking posting on TikTok.
But it's also like it was funny. It's like wow,
right? He does.
It's simple.
No, like the distro kid.
Like, all this we grew up
the
with
distro
is more complicated. It's like this stuff's like very simple, like just one fucking line for the whole fucking song. But just like that's what kids today follow, some of the stuff. So it's like you know, like think simple. Think you have to have a good hook and something that drives you up.
Exactly. Yeah, I literally just start following this guy. Once again, it's totally different rhythm than we have.
Yeah. But
I just liked his voice. Yeah. And he recorded I think like 10 seconds of a song. People started going crazy, and he made an entire song. Yeah. You know, he's been going on tour.
So it's just like listen. I listen to everything, dude. And like it was like a lot of bands that like I remember first came out, Jack Johnson and shit. Like I was in the punk and
Jack Johnson.
and like showing
Shit.
Jack Johnson to my best
That's
friends.
sick.
He's like, dude, like all that the shit you brought to me. Like I remember when like Rise Against were like first record, and I was like, dude, these guys are gonna be huge. Like, oh, they're too heavy for the radio. I'm like, okay, Axis on Fire, they're fucking gonna be huge too.
Axis on Fire, oh, shit.
AFI is gonna be huge too. They're cracking up. Like they haven't hit the radio yet, but they'll be huge. If they do like something a little softer, they'll be fucking huge. And then Axis on Fire showed them like that. And he's like, oh, the singer's good. I'm like, yeah, if the singer fucking does a solo record, he's gonna be fucking huge. And it was like the next time I saw him, I was like, here's these fucking records. And then he's just like, the next year I saw him, we're back. He's like, oh, because we live far away from each other. But I remember him like calling me like, dude, like you called that. Like even like years later, he passed away last January, but he told me like, he's like, dude, like all this shit you called and brought me into that became huge influences me and huge influences in there. It's like you saw that. You just like
good year then.
you're right. Yeah, it's just like that's gonna happen. Like music was changing at that time. Like when that whole like in the 2000s, early 2000s. You guys might be a little younger, but
No,
it was like picking up. All that punk stuff was huge.
Yeah.
Like AFI was fucking like they won a Grammy for fuck's sake. Like you know what I mean? So just like these bands.
I think that's when
huge.
also like audio sleep started popping up.
Yeah, and Rancid and all that stuff was like Rancid was already there, but they're getting huge, and everyone's getting huge. Green Day was already huge.
Oh yeah.
Right, like and like that's around the time that Audio Slave came to there, but they were both huge before. They were Rage Against the Machine and fucking Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you listen to any old Soundgarden shit. They're fucking amazing. It's amazing.
Soundgarden.
Just getting now. I literally just started now. We play now sometimes.
Bad
Like a
Motorfinger.
Stone.
Go
right?
go get Bad Motorfinger.
Bad Motorfinger?
Yeah, listen to that on YouTube. Dude. Fucking amazing. All the records are good. The other ones too. What's that one? Blackout Sonnet was called. What's that record called? That one's good too. It looks like a
91.
fucking boy or goat or something on it. What was that record?
I'm not sure what the record was called, but like
Black Hole Sun is a fucking good one too.
Yeah, Black Hole Sun.
That's probably one you could probably sing really well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just discovered Black Hole Sun.
Yeah, but
What
like,
the fuck? I didn't know. Because I love Odyssey, but I didn't know about Soundgarden and
oh dude, Soundgarden's amazing.
fucking.
Really? You know what name of
Isn't that
Soundgarden?
crazy?
Oh, fuck yeah, it is.
No, and then I was like, yeah, that makes the same thing. It's like trying to discover that Dave Grohl was in fucking Nirvana, right?
Right.
I knew that one.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the same feeling. It's like,
There's
what?
also in a
Who's
punk
there?
band called the Screamers.
Was he?
Yeah, they're great too.
I didn't know that.
So like yeah, but dude, like they do like that whole scene in Seattle is great. Like look up Screaming Trees.
Seattle's great.
Look at fucking Candlebox. If you like Alice in Chains, you like Candlebox.
I think I heard a Candlebox.
Yeah, like Candlebox has that one stuff. Somebody listen to their stuff. It's very Alice in Chainsy and stuff. They're from that area too. A lot of people give them shit. Some from California. And guys like I moved here when I was fucking 8. Like I lived in Seattle like my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, it's weird because some bands got some chances in that time. I don't know if people shit on them, especially after Nirvana. Everyone's like, oh, like, you know,
Yeah.
you're not from there. Everyone's like,
Cause I don't know. Did you tell you like what we're doing? Because we did Audio Slave. We're getting good.
I've seen that, and I've
right?
seen you guys did Man in the Box.
Man in the Box.
He said he wanted to do Lonely One by System, but I don't know. I can't really sing
Which
like
one?
that guy. So.
Lonely Day?
Lonely Day. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do the surge parts, but I can't do the other guy. I'm not as high.
I can do the other guy too.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do Lonely Day. Yeah,
No, I'd rather do like Chop Suey or like Toxicity. Like,
We
we're
can
gonna
do all of them. Yeah.
We're gonna do something System of the Down. It's gotta have something. And if you have 2 singers, you need those 2 singer parts.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Countdown! Like, you know, like, you gotta have that. You gotta have that.
Chop Suey.
Yep.
You got something you can play off each other. Because I can do that one, but like, I don't Chop. See, like, I don't know the lyrics as well as I used to, but like, that Toxicity album, I remember I used to listen to that every day. Like, that was like my song. Like, every day I listened to that fucking album.
System is my favorite. That's why.
I listened.
have a lot
Oh,
of
dude, I
songs.
was huge into System. I remember that I saw their last tour before they broke up, and like back in the 2000s. But like,
Yeah.
I listened to that album Toxicity all the time. I got pissed off at work. I listened to that. Me and my roommate were like, because we worked together, so we like listened to that and put that on. And he was like, just wake up, put a little makeup.
Yes,
So
exactly.
just like that was like my fucking get chilled and get in the zone album.
Are there any bands that sound like System of a Down? I don't think
No.
so. That's the thing with them. Like, you can find bands that sound a little bit like Alice in Chains. You can find bands that sound a little bit like Linkin Park.
Yeah.
You can't find a band that sounds like System of a Down.
No one. And
Yeah.
dude, if you actually like, so I was always like into them and researched like what their lyrics were. I always thought they had deep meaning. He's like, no, I'm bad at writing lyrics, so I just say random shit. What's a terracotta pie? He's like, I just made it up. Banana terracotta pie. Because he was on some chef show. And the guy actually made him a banana terracotta pie.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, is that banana terracotta pie? He's like, that's my favorite lyrics. Where'd that come from? He's like, I don't know, it's just random shit.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and like the producer they had was, what's his face there?
The bearded guy.
Yeah, so he's just like, he was just like, I hated that, but he loved it. Same with Chop Suey. He just like, I just remember that one part from the Bible. Father, you forsaken
The
me.
fighter, yeah.
He just like threw stuff in. So like,
Yeah.
his lyrics are just really like cut and paste.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
But that's
Same with
the
Andy
question, bro.
Kiedis.
I've seen some interviews. Like he sometimes like he doesn't know. Sometimes he finds. That's why I was trying to do with this one too, right? Sometimes he finds like a sentence and he kind of builds something from that sentence off, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much what rhymes, like what goes with his vocal.
Exactly, because he knows already the Father to your hands I
Right.
commend my spirit, right? But like, what do I do with that? So he started making the whole fucking song. That wake up.
Right. It's the same with you. Like you got the word bitches. It's just like it's like lyrics. Like and like I'm more sporadic when it comes to lyrics.
Yeah.
And then finding the pitch, I can yell and stuff, but it works. And it's like the same thing too. If you have like
that compliments.
like if you have something like when you were like giving some ideas, you're like, oh, one with Jumbo, and then something came to my mind. It's like that's how you build songs. So it's like even like if you know that you need lyrics, okay, I got it. I'll just write some fucking lyrics. Like what's what's your vibe? What are you feeling? And then you just feed off of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very sporadic that way. That's
Like that,
that's
'cause,
my
like,
gift, right?
I don't know how to find the words.
And a lot of people don't, and it's okay. That's one thing I excel at. Like I like jam with a lot of people that sing good, and they're like, "Wow, like your vocals are just off." Like she like one of the old ladies I live with. She was like like my den mother. Like she rented me a room, and she's like, "What's your fucking gift? You're good at lyrics." So she was the same thing, where she would sing with me, and then she would just find my lyrics, and then like I get a hook, and then she'd just sing with it. And she's like, because a lot of people they do the same thing, the da 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 da, but they have no words. So you just give them some words.
Do you ever remember what you sing or not?
Yeah, I do. Like, and like it's also building. Like, it's good that we're recording now because sometimes it just when you're doing it off the cuff, it's like sometimes I are like other than tonight, I'm not using anything preloaded, but a lot of times I'll have preloaded ideas or like things will pop me at work or whatever, and like that's a good hook, and I'll be singing a hook, and then it'll come to me. And sometimes I'll write stuff. Like I wrote something on the weekend, wrote a couple things on the weekend, but I wrote one. And I spent like the whole day on it, and you have a good hook, and you're like, oh, okay. And then I just forgot the fucking hook, and it bugged me the rest of the fucking night because I was tired and my brain wasn't there, and it bugged me. And then I remember if it's worth anything, it'll come back. That's the whole thing. If it's worth anything, it will come back. You'll eventually remember it and how you're singing it, but like capturing it is the best thing because then if you have it recorded, even in a rough form, you can work on that. You can sit down and write it, and they can sit down with you and write it, and be like, okay, and then like, you can feed off each other. You know what I mean? So
Did you always play like this with the left hand?
No.
Because I heard that's like hard as fuck, isn't it? Like to play.
It sucks that you're the guitar player left because you guys play well together. You had a kind of good vibe together.
Yeah, he for some reason I think.
Or just call him back like, hey dude, we've got something going on. Like come on.
We thought it was like an excuse because it was very weird. Like no point. Like he would come here, we would joke around, right? He knows that we were.
Some people, I don't know, they sabotage themselves, and some people they only have so much patience for stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. To be honest, when the first time he come here, I think he had the vibe that since we were just discovering where we're going, he was at the whole time like, okay, so what are we doing? I'm like, oh, we don't know. We're just discovering. But
I get
he'd be
that.
a little
Like, there's always
frustrated.
someone trying to get some
It
kind
seemed
of
to me like he was looking for help from the start.
direction. Yeah.
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 It was annoying though because like when I played rhythm and he played lead, it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
And then he just left.
Yeah. Well, and then some people just don't have the patience for stuff, or it could be like you know like my guitar player, like when we jam, like he doesn't have patience for shit. So he's just like if it's not exactly what he wants, then he's gone.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing like when we did our stuff. It was like we didn't actually sit there and write stuff like each other. We just kind of powered through it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was like, all right.